Welcome to the Talk It Out Show. I'm your host, Joanne. We would like to let you know that this show is for entertainment purposes only. If you want to look us up on Facebook or Twitter, go ahead and look us up on Talk It Out Show. And if you want to email us any of your questions, go ahead and email us at talkitou.show@gmail.com. Now, if you need to physically send any of your questions in to us, go ahead and send to our P.O. Box at P.O. Box 901043, Portland, Oregon 97290. All right, happy Friday, y'all. As you know, I have my panel of lovely ladies. I'm going to introduce those lovely ladies to you. We have Lydia.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, we have our lovely Lauren.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
All right, you guys. Happy Friday again. Guys, wanted to let you know, want to help one of our listeners out there. All right, this person has sent in, and it says, I am a 41-year-old black male, married to a 38-year-old black woman for the last 4 years. I have 5 stepsons, and we have been blessed with a girl. She's 3 years old now. On to the question. How do I get my wife to get more intimate? I do most of the cooking and the cleaning. I try to get her to go on date nights. I treat the boys as my own, but nothing seems to be enough. Before we got married, we would make love all the time, like 3 times a day sometimes, hence the little queen. Now I'm lucky to get some twice a month, and she never initiates. Am I doing something wrong? Signed, Lack of Nookie.
Lack of Nookie. Nookie. Well, it just depends. Like, I have multiple things that go in my mind, and I always say that people usually argue with me on it, but I'm just going to say it again. One, sometimes it is a subconscious thing. Like, when you're not married, you have more of a libido to keep going because it's like, this is what connects us and keeps us. And when you get married, that connects us and keeps us. So, and I think, yeah, it's a different connection, and it's a subconscious. So now she's comfortable. She might never been really sexually active and didn't know she wasn't sexually active until she said, I do. Because for some reason, when you're single, your libido just ting, 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 ting. So that's why I say it's a subconscious. It's not something that women know they're doing. So I've been really an advocate about women please your man, you know, because it's not usually the man that has the issue, but there are men out there that have issues, and their issues usually medical or something like that. But women are emotional or just didn't know that they weren't sexually active.
There are some medical things too, though, sometimes.
For some women. Well, women, to keep them moist on there, you want to make sure she has 2 tablespoons of oil that's not cooked. So you can make her a smoothie. You can do olive oil, you can do avocado oil, you can do grapeseed, coconut oil. Just make sure it's, and you can even do canola if you don't have any of those. And put it in a smoothie or drizzle it over the food before you eat so it's not cooked. Those are things as well that can help. Another thing that I go with, and I'm talking like I'm a sex specialist, but I have been making this a special of mine. So I would also state that you would probably want to also, if you're helping around the house, maybe soothe her. Joanne's man always, like, when he's ready, he'll make her a nice hot bath. Those are things that can help. Figure out something that can relax her into the mood. Make it sexual. Send her text messages during the day. Tell her how much you miss her. And, oh, baby, you my queen. And I love you. And I can't wait to hold you and hug you and kiss you. Those things can actually help her libido, too, because she's reading all the text messages during the day. So she's smiling. Thinking about me. Those things as well can actually help in that area. And there was one more question. Oh, most women are not the aggressor. They're not the ones that
I know that
start that. I'm not an aggressor either. Doesn't mean that once it happens, it won't get down and dirty, but I'm just not the aggressor. So some women are not the aggressor. Now, I'm not going to say that because when I remember that time, I did a group when I had women. We went to a hotel. And we talked and stuff like that. So we gave each woman a nickname. Like, you come up with a name that you feel sexually that you feel sexual, like you feel sexy with this name. You feel like ooh with this name, and then you the other one is ooh I'm extra freaky. I'm extra. I want to nail it. Those things. So you want to have. I always have those names. So when I'm in bed, he knows which one he's getting. He's like, oh, you're.
Oh, so it's like a different personality.
Yeah, and I had like two.
Oh, okay.
You know,
two different.
I have one that's freaky plus cool.
Yeah.
I have the one that's I'm innocent.
Oh, okay. So it's almost like a role playing.
It is, and then when I'm really freaky, that's when I get my animal name.
Oh,
and then my animal, and I get my animal name, and that's when I just he don't know what to do with himself, and then I links. Yeah, she links. So she could be links, and then back in the day I called her Carmelo. Yeah, so that could be her stripper name.
Two different names.
See, you know, you have those names, and then she can be an aggressor or whatever like that. But most women are not aggressive. Yeah. But there are a lot of women that are aggressive, and you're probably used to those women. And she probably was one of those before she got married. But then she is now who she really is. And again, it's subconscious. And I know men have their things too. Like you could be very independent, but then you get married and all of a sudden you're not so independent because your woman is there to help you, or you know, there's certain things that, you know, we all do subconscious. I don't want it to seem like it's a woman thing. Yeah. How about you, Lauren?
Well, I think everything that you were saying is okay and pretty much on point. It's just that sometimes women go through a phase that it's just a phase where right now she's very secure. She's relaxed. She has a family that she's always had. She has a daughter and stuff. So she might be kind of tired and
I was waiting for this.
No, just laying low.
I know. I was just waiting. I'm waiting for someone to say it.
just laying low right now. It has nothing to do with you. It's just her own inability to do that, and she appreciates that you were doing the cooking and stuff like that. She gets to relax, and if a woman's been on her, she gets to relax. Sometimes that's not. She's just really relaxing, and then you'll see after that phase is over that you might be like, down, girl, down, whoa. But sometimes it has nothing to do with any of that. It's just that she's tired and not because she's still, she works and she's home and you're home, but now she has help. She can pretty much relax into her new life, and she's just taking full advantage of that right now. That's all I can see. I just say sometimes, and everybody has that. Men have midlife crisis. Women have the same type, but it's in a different way. And everybody does it differently. Some of them can get very aggressive, stuff like that. And when you're single, it's a different mind, as the panel stated. It's a different mindset. You're not as secure, you're not blah, 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 and you go home alone, so you're trying to prolong that time of intimacy. When you're in love and you're satisfied, you can go a while and without it. And that's because I'm on the other side. I'm like your woman on that other side. Sometimes you're just like, oh, I just want to just relax. I love the intimacy. I like the cuddling. I like we talk and stuff like that. But I don't want to do another thing. I just want to talk. I don't want to do nothing else. And then sometimes, like the panel said, if you woo at the whole day long and stuff like that, that's good. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes, like I can remember when you get those notes, and I can't wait till you get home. I'm like, oh hell,
right? Because that's what they think.
Yeah. I'm like,
it's a setup. It's a setup.
It is a setup. And my thing is, it's supposed to encourage you, because I'm gonna just tell you, there's my mother's brother.
Your mother is wise, by the way.
My mother's brother said, and he was a player. Like, he was a player. And all my friends used to think he was the sexiest thing ever. And, so my uncle's sitting up here, having all these different girls. So when he got married, we all just assumed he gonna be a cheater because he can't, Look at all the women, he just can't. And he told my mother, I don't have to cheat because I don't care if she's mad at me. I don't care what the case is. She always gives it to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm never without. I'm never deprived without it. Mm-hmm. And then you think about it in the biblical sense where, okay, we get married, and if you're a Christian and if you believe in Yahweh and accept His Son into your life, it says in there that your body is not your own. And that goes for both people. And I think a lot of that is because he knows, like, when you get married, one person or the other is not giving it up. They're just not giving it up. And you don't want that to be a weakness. And the people go, well, he shouldn't cheat. Yes, 100%. I'm 100% advocate of he shouldn't cheat or she shouldn't cheat. Whatever. I do not condone that. But I'm just saying, if that's a weakness area, that's where women have to step up. I know there's some men in there that's where you need to step up and get some stuff to help you get along the strong. You're not doing it sometimes, that's fine. But if you're talking about I'm only doing it twice a month, no.
That much? Wow. See, that's
you can't say Jack.
No, I know. I
overacted. She's overacted with
I am now.
But that is, and I wish there was something, because I wish there was something that can help a woman's thing. But it's a mindset with the woman.
But that's what I'm saying. When you send texts, don't be like, oh, I want to tear you up when you get home. But just saying stuff like, baby, I love you. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're just my baby. And that's an everyday thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you get proud and you're like, oh, he smiled. You put a little note in the lunch, how you want to go out tonight? I already got I got a babysitter for the kids. You want to go out tonight? Oh, those things are romantic and it woos you into being in that mood, because right now you're in the mood of I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Yeah. And even though you're helping, sometimes we miss the stuff that you're helping because we're so consumed about what we're doing and not thinking about what you're doing. Right. And so sometimes we miss those.
Girl, preach right now, preach.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's those important things. Because I'm not going to give a woman a pass because she's tired and all that. I can't give a woman a pass. And I've been there where I'm tired and I just don't want to do it. I'm not sitting up here acting like I'm just the horny buck of the group.
But you want to make sure your mind is in it too. That's what I'm saying. When you say that,
sometimes when you get in the middle, your mind gets into it. You might start off not wanting it.
Well, no.
And then you can get into the middle of it.
And that's why they're not probably initiating either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's not.
Your
mind is not on initiating. You're tired. I mean, I know sometimes I'll be like,
yeah.
And then sometimes I'll be like, you know what? If you want something, I'm asleep, just go ahead. Just do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Just do what you gotta do. If you want something, just go ahead and take it because I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it. You be wore out. But I look at people and I'm like, as people who are saying they love the Lord and accepted Jesus into their life and all that, I'm just not understanding why we don't make it a reason to. That means if you need to get up in the morning a little earlier and dress sexy underneath your clothes to get you ready, because it's really sometimes about a woman feeling sexy. If she felt like she gained 10 pounds, she might not want to because she doesn't feel like she's attractive to you. Yeah. And that's where those comments of "baby, you my queen," swing her around in the kitchen, say "I just love you today. You have a great day at work," and tongue her down. Yeah. So she's thinking, "Oh, we about to do it." You tongue her down, and then you send her off to work, and then she be like, "You might shoot meet me at the so and so because I got to talk to you, it's important," and it might be a whole nother discussion. But it's those things that sometimes we as women, we put too much pressure. Oh, I got these stretch marks, so I'm not sexy. And you see all these women on magazines and TV and movies, they looking all sexy, and the man just love her and got the 2-piece lingerie. She need the whole lingerie on to all the way to her ankles and all this stuff. So there's a lot of different things that go on in a woman's mind. And I think sometimes men don't understand because you go, I just love my baby. I just want to have sex with her all that. She don't want to just be your sex toy. That's not what she wants to be. And I understand for a man point a point of view, you feel like if she's not having sex with you, she's not into you and not love you. That's why I say we're so totally opposite. And that's why it's so important for these conversations because we have to pick up on doing better in that area because we having too many divorce conversations. And I mean, and to be saved, we have a lot of divorce conversations, and a lot of it they go is not about sex and communication. But sometimes you're so frustrated that anything you do, so you gonna leave the peel like that with the orange sitting in it like that. It's just a peel and orange. But why? Why can't you just peel the whole thing and throw the orange peel away? Why can't you do that?
Exactly.
Why can't you do that? That don't make no sense.
Right.
And it'd be like, really, that's an argument?
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's your argument? But I think a lot of our arguments is because we're not satisfying each other. Women need to be satisfied emotionally and about their appearance and everything, and a man needs to be satisfied sexually. And those are two things that need to be met. So, you're doing a great job, and I do applaud you for helping with the kids and cleaning the house and doing all. I do applaud you for that. Also, but what you need to do is make her feel secure. And I know it's not your job to do it, but she wants to be sexy for you. She wants to make you happy as well. It's just sometimes it's in the back. She doesn't know. She doesn't know all it needs to do is you just come in there, make her breakfast, and kiss her and say, baby, I love you. You have a great day. Massage her body down. No sex, no nothing, and that's going to be hard.
Yeah, without expectations, because I've talked to, I don't know how
But those are different type of massages. Those shoulder massages is to just get it. Do her a full body massage.
Right.
And then just leave her.
Yeah.
Run her nice bath water, beautiful scent in there, and everything pedals to the bed. She gonna think, oh God, I do stuff, and let her sleep.
Right.
She gonna then
That's true.
Then she gonna be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then she gonna be like, well, you don't want me no more? And like, no, I just wanted you to relax. But you don't find me sexy. I just wanted you. You don't find. And when she goes, you don't find me. Turn her over and wow.
Wow.
Yeah, just tear it up.
Oh wow.
Get the stuff out, the sex toys out, everything. Just today.
So that was a good scenario there, right there.
But it is.
But that was because I am seeing too many. I've heard that story too many times by too many women because in their mindset they always feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get no massage without that. And that's got to be the end goal. When our bodies do really generally be hurting. There's things we're going through. There's some of us have medical conditions where that would help relieve a lot of the stress and pain that we're going through without in the mindset going, okay, well, now if I go to give you some, now my body gonna be jacked up. After you don't massage me, now it's gonna be jacked up.
And if you're not a good massager,
you know what I mean?
save up some money.
Yeah.
And get a masseuse to come in and massage her.
Yes.
Or you can send her out to go massage, but I would have her sit in the house so that she don't have to travel. Because when you get a good massage, you need lots of fluids.
Yes, you have.
And then you just want to lay down and relax. You don't want to do nothing else. So, I mean, you don't feel like you can give her a massage without doing that,
right.
or if you feel like you don't give good massages. Because the things that need to be massaged is not just her back and her shoulder.
Right.
It needs to be her legs, her butt, her feet.
And people don't
all those things really, and then her arms need to be massaged with her hands. You don't know how much you need one too, so get you one and her one. Y'all can sit in the bedroom getting a full massage, or do it in the living room. The kids are gone, and you get your full massage together, sitting there, and do it that way. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it, and you can get people who are in school for massages. They can be first class, so it doesn't cost a lot of money because a lot of people I ain't got enough money. I understand, and you don't maybe have enough to be saving for that, but
or a barter system. I tell everybody, there are people out there with skills. We all got so many skills. It's ridiculous.
I don't think people are gonna do that one.
What do you mean?
You want a professional?
No, I'm saying there's people that we may know that are professional. Like, you know what I'm saying, that do that.
I'm just saying a guy don't want no other person they know seeing a woman naked.
Well, I know, but there has been some. I've been seeing a whole.
Well, yeah, she sees this one.
I've been seeing a whole.
But yeah, I don't think
everybody wants to.
Yeah, and I don't think the husband. After that massage, I don't think the husband.
I've been thinking myself.
But you can go on YouTube or Instagram and watch this guy give a massage, and then you can do that to your wife. But I'm just going to say that one you are going to end up having sex after on that massage. Just letting you know, I saw it and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to ever get that massage. So, yeah.
Well, no, I used to. I used to get massages like that when I was in my car accident. And, I mean, it didn't do nothing for, I mean, it helped me out because I ended up getting pregnant with a relationship later on. But,
so she said it didn't do
but no, I'm just saying, not with the person, the person, it wasn't that, but it helped out. It helped out the whole life.
Yeah, but the person probably didn't look like the person that was doing the massage.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He was really
it's
old.
one of those sexual massages.
He's really old.
Put your leg right here, both legs right here, and then you get your arm, and you got your whole body.
His whole body.
And it really looks like it feels so good.
Yeah, because
but it looks sexual too.
Yeah.
I had to give her the update and you guys the update.
But I wanted to delve into this a little bit because I know we were really kind of focusing on one area in this question, and I'm not. Please don't. Well, I don't want you guys thinking I'm being negative. I don't want you guys thinking I'm just trying to go. Whoa, where did this go? But I had this just something in my spirit.
Something in your spirit. In your no.
Yeah. So when I read this question and he said she had five boys. And then they had a child together, the little girl. And he said, I treat the boys as my own, but nothing seems to be enough. Why would you have to say that? I had something didn't feel right to me. It just didn't. I don't know, because this is how I personally feel. I sympathize to her on one thing because that's a lot of kids. Your body goes through a lot when you have a lot of kids.
Absolutely.
So you are really a lot of times after you've had that many kids, because believe you me, I know. Lydia's talking about how my libido used to be. It used to be. It's not that way anymore. I'm telling you right now, no more. That I see the 2 times a month is realistic in my mind because, and it might not be a good thing because it's the same thing. I looked at that was my life. Oh yeah, 3 times a day. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, but hello, like SpongeBob, 6 kids later. That's 6 kids. And he's saying I treat the boys as my own. But when you got to think about it, that's boys, and then you had a girl by her. People do not treat boys and girls the same. They don't. So you got to imagine that's she's Miss Princess probably. You know what I'm saying? Getting everything in the world and everything.
She is. And
so you're saying you treat the boys as your own. But I see that a lot of times that people say that, and a lot of times it's not. You still don't. You saying it, but a lot of times it's not. And the thing about it is, if that's their mother, and she can see the difference, she may have an underlying thing going on inside of her too. You see what I'm? No, I'm just saying.
Where I have a problem.
You know what I'm saying? That thing.
This is where I have a problem with again. This is subject is one of my, and
I go through it myself, so that's why I'm saying I just my thing is why do you have to say that? If you said that, I don't necessarily think you're doing that. That's just how I feel.
No, and I'm gonna have a problem with this, and you might not be doing good. I'm not gonna sit here inside and say you are, but what I have a problem with is you shouldn't have got married.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have married you if she doesn't trust you with your child, because I've seen that when it's a man bringing kids in or when a woman's bringing kids in. When the man is disciplining, then a woman gets mad because you're being too hard. This, that, and you can't go because you're not doing it to your daughter. Well, the daughter is the youngest one of the bunch, so you're not getting the treatment the same. Because
of course.
Boys have a harder role in life. You can't be just sugarcoating just the boy because you want to sugarcoat the boy and stuff like that. You can't do that because the world is not going to sugarcoat the guys. They're just not. So my thing is, if you can't trust the person that you living with, that you're married to, that you said you're spending your whole life with your kids and all that other stuff, then you shouldn't have got married.
I don't think that's the problem.
I'm just saying. That's what you just said.
No, that's what she was saying.
I'm just answering the question.
She was talking. The question he has already outlined. She was just saying that.
But she's saying that's probably why she's not wanting to have sex. It's because you are not being good to her kids. So it's an underlying thing.
Say for instance, you were in that situation, right? and he's saying he's saying I treat the kids as my own, right? I treat the boys as my own, and he got the one girl by her, but he really may not be. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, if a woman feels that, you see what I'm saying? Even though he's saying, "Oh, I'm doing this," and if she really feels like you really don't, I'm seeing this difference here. You really aren't treating the boys like you're saying. That's gonna, because those are hers. So she's gonna be like have an issue, and if she's not gonna, it's not gonna be wanting to make her turn on. She's not gonna be turned on to want to do something. Yeah. Because that's gonna hurt her. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And you will know that by the discussion, because one thing about us, we are mama bears, and so we will address that if we feel that that's the case. We will say stuff like that, so you'll know that that's there.
So I wasn't saying that that's what's really going on, but I was trying to
give him another.
Because, like I said, I'm trying to attack it from all areas.
Yeah, because that could affect sex.
Yeah,
and I have
that issue sometimes.
That could be, but again, that's what I have a problem with is you shouldn't get married because I'm gonna tell you my line. This is the line, and it's a hard line when you don't have kids by the same person.
Right, it is.
It's a hard line, period. So this is the line. It's supposed to be God. I always say you gotta pamper yourself, but it's God, your spouse, then your kids, and then everybody else. But when you bring in kids from a marriage, from another relationship, it usually goes God, my kids, my husband, and it goes out of order, which makes things complicated, and why a lot of marriages can't not work because you're out of order in that sense, and it's hard to put that in the correct order.
You in that order, and it is still not right. You know what I'm saying? Say you're doing that, right? Even if the kid is from another, and you're doing that, and it's still the person's not satisfied.
You
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say for instance, you had a previous child, and you get married, and you still do that order. You don't do the order of God, my kid. You put the husband, like just that's right order, and do the kids the same way. But that husband still ain't satisfied. You don't put him up above the kids too.
What you mean he ain't satisfied?
So what would you do if he's not? That's what I'm saying.
But if you had God in the beginning,
right?
Everything ain't gonna be perfect. Just like raising your kids ain't gonna be perfect. You can have kids by the same man. It still ain't gonna be perfect.
Right.
Those are things you have to work on and have those conversations and talk about. That's an inevitable thing.
Yeah.
Period. You can't go there, but you want to make sure you go in the correct route. But not saying that, if you go in the correct route, you will never get a divorce. Because some people, again, like I told you guys a long time ago, you jump out the boat when you're still in the middle of the ocean and swim the land, instead of getting off the boat when you get to the land and then find out you want to get a divorce or not.
Right.
Everybody
always get through the storm first.
Yeah, if you're not going to get through the storm, then how you going to say anything? Yeah. So a lot of people jump out of a marriage in the middle of a storm.
Okay.
And some people think, no, because we've been arguing for 6 months. We've been arguing for a year. One, maybe because you guys ain't getting it together right, and you're so busy wanting to be right. Everybody always want to be right in a relationship. Yeah. I'm right. I remember when me and my husband was dating. That's the first thing he hung up in the phone saying, "You always got to be right." I'm not trying to be right. It ain't about me trying to be right. I want you to understand what I got to say, just like you want me to understand what you got to say. We do not have to agree on what it is. That is not what we hear. I just want you to know and hear me out of my point of view. And you hear on out. Because we came from two different homes. Right. We came from two different, way of living. So we're not going to always see eye to eye. But once you get that in your head, you have less arguments.
Right. You know what? Can I say one thing?
That's true.
Sir? On this, because we can speculate all day long about what's going to happen and stuff like that. Have you sat down and talked to her?
And communication is the key.
And then say, this is how you feel. And then, and is there anything that you can do that can enhance something, or do I need to just leave you on? Because we can speculate, we can debate all day long about what it is, but at the end of the day, you and her got to sit down and discuss this.
Yeah.
So just sit down and in a nice way, like over dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and say, you know, I don't want to be in an argument, and then really don't argue. I mean, no matter what she says, if you make sure that you're ready to listen to her,
Mm-hmm.
because if she says, well, I feel you do this, that, and the other, you cannot it cannot be turned into an argument. You sit back there and say, and take everything in and say, yes, okay, yeah, I'll think about that. Yeah, okay, and I don't care if you think she's wrong.
Yeah.
This is how she's feeling, and you can't do anything about that. So just sit back and definitely don't turn it into an argument. And after she's finished, thank her. Thank you for being honest with you. I know it took a lot for you to say, and I appreciate it, because when she feels safe to tell you anything, then you're going to have an open communication. So the best thing in the world to do is sit down and talk to her, because only she and you will know the reason. We can all speculate, and we can think it may not be nothing that we're talking about.
Right, that's so
It could be something completely different, but you need to talk to her about it again. And I want to reiterate, and I want you to understand, no matter what she says and how she says it, and she yells and screams, you sit there and you take it in as like you're at a school and your professor is talking, and then you understand, and then you thank her for her being honest with you, and then call it a day. And you'll find yourself in a better position to understand her, because she will open up again to you, because she trusts you this time.
That's good. That's good. That's hard.
It is.
That's
Very
hard to do. Because a lot of times I know me, I don't do that very well.
Well, no, and not really. And what she's saying is correct.
No,
But
she's
then
right,
also
right.
you have to, you got to know women. And
Yeah, well, and if there is something, and she might not say nothing at that point in time, she'll like, no, nothing's wrong. And you can say, because she's afraid of an argument. Stuff like that, intimacy, is a really hard thing to accept. She can come up with anything. Well, last time I was doing that, or anything that she can come up with.
Yeah.
You have to psych yourself up to be able to
think of
take.
it worse, like you ain't good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If that's the case, then just go.
That's
a hard conversation.
That's a hard conversation. But then you say.
But then you gotta work.
Then you say. That's right. Then you say, well, what do you think I should do to make it better?
Yeah.
So you want to be able to open up, and her to be able to flow easily with that kind of conversation.
Yes.
If I say what's wrong, and I ask what's wrong, and you say, well, what do you mean me? Me? What do you mean me? It's always me.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I'm going to shut
Every
down.
other woman like what I did.
Yeah. I'm going to shut down. As a woman, I'm going to shut down. I'm not going to say nothing else. And then we ain't never fix this problem.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, sometimes you have to be very. It's hard, but and women the same thing. Like if your man is such a, you say men, they shut down. They're not going to tell you nothing. They'll tell their homies everything, but they'll never tell you anything. So we always have to read behind the lines, be under the bed, and all that kind of stuff. But with women, we love to talk. That's our favorite thing to do. And if we feel that we can talk to you about anything, well, then we're going to open up, and that's the sexiest thing in the world. That is the sexiest thing in the world.
You're right.
Especially
you're right, girl.
if you say to me, okay, well, let me do, what can I do?
Yeah.
Well, now honey, honey. And then if we think we got you to do everything that pleases us, honey, shut up. But
And when you're done with that, aftercare, baby.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
You go a whole another round.
And she'll like that. But what I'm saying to you is communication is key. You need to talk to her. We can talk all day long about what it could and what it should have been.
Right.
But you won't know until you ask her. She's the woman. She knows what's going on. You're the man. You know what's going on. We can only speculate. We don't know what's going on in that house.
That's so the truth. Because we don't, I don't know, just when I listen to all of this, I just see.
Oh my goodness, I can't take it.
Lord, it's killing me. Oh my gosh, hell, y'all. Happy Friday for real, y'all. Woo, yes. What I was listening to what Laura was saying, and I've been listening to what everybody said, and it's so true because I see that communication is so important in anything. I always say that, and everybody knows that. But it's true because I see it from both sides because how it doesn't work and then how it does. And, thankfully I've lived life long enough to see more so just in any relationship, friendships, anything, how important communication is, because a lot of times people have so many misunderstandings because they're not communicating at all. And so he's sitting in this thing and like Lauren is saying, if he sits down and has a conversation with her and is letting her just kind of let it all out, because if they sit down and have the conversation, it may be something we totally have no idea, didn't think. In my mind, because from my experience, I know how it is, and I know how bodies change too. For me, like I was explaining to people, because everyone knows I have a lot of kids in a little bit of time in my body. I sat there and thought about it. I was saying, well, you know what? I've just basically been this hormonal mess my whole life, and didn't have babies. That's way more hormone. Then you gotta get it back normal, and then I'm like, oh, I'm finally being me. Like, I'm finally my actual self that I was years ago, but I've been on this hormonal roller coaster all these years. Then they're going to menopause. But after that, that's some more hormones. So I was like,
but I don't think she would be able to know that one.
What do you mean? Like herself figuring that out?
Yeah.
That's why, but see,
you don't know if the kids are back to back. You don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying because, but I'm just saying that the amount of kids that she's had, she still had, and she just had, that even though that child is 3, that's still a young child. Mm-hmm. So your body still had to adjust from having that one. Get back, because you like.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm saying the point she would not know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't put that in.
They don't think in their mind. They don't.
No, you're the only one I've ever met that thought anything like that. So all the people that had tons of kids in this world, my grandmother on my other dad's side had 17 kids.
Yeah.
You don't think of nothing like that, So like that's what I'm saying. So that's not going to be something that she can.
Well, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
She doesn't know.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
But he can't tell her that.
Yeah.
So
that wouldn't help. But
that's an argument by itself. So no.
Yeah, that's true.
She can't tell him. You know what? It's because you had all these kids.
Well, it's just stop that. It's just
like
hormone.
But are you getting ready to have menopause? No.
But it's not even that. Because some things people have that are medical conditions that affect your hormones, and that too, like thyroid problem, things like that. So I'm saying, like you said, it is a touchy subject, because how do you
There's no way a man can come up and tell him that. I'm just saying.
I know.
There's no world anyway a man could come and say, you know what, you might be.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just praying and hoping that
it's hard for a woman to tell a man. Man got to come up with that by himself.
You know what I'm saying? If she was to ever hear the show, maybe I don't know. But even just because we're an informative show. And I'm pretty sure more than just these people are going through what this person is going through. So,
but again, he can't tell her what she's doing.
No, I know. But I'm saying if they're listening, people are listening.
He can ask her, and she already knows. We as women know pretty much. We might know the chemical and the physical reaction. She may articulate it as, sometimes I'm just tired. She doesn't know that her body's going through this, that, and that. It's just that all I want them to do is just to communicate and talk. And while one is really actually listening and taking in the information. That's it. That's not the time for him to go into, remember back in the same when you did this so it's the time for just to sit back and
sounding board.
And let me express this so clearly. Because I've done this with Joanne, and it's the most confusing thing in the world. When you're sitting down and you're listening, don't but please say, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, acknowledge the conversation. Don't be in this board of, okay, I'm not allowed to say anything and I got to accept it all. And I got to accept it all, so I'm not going to say nothing at all. No, please acknowledge, because that will be an argument by itself, that you're not listening. Because
we called customer service. Just yesterday we called customer service, and the people at the customer service desk, we were asking some questions, and so when we're on the thing and they ask us, what's your name, what's your code number, what's your membership number, blah blah blah. So we're talking to them, and so we're asking the question. Now apparently they've gotten a flood of these questions, and so they're already programmed to say this and say that. So we're not asking that question. We're just saying so. We're starting the question and saying, hey, what about blah 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 blah, and they answer something that we didn't even ask. And I said, I'm just frustrated. I said,
so
let me talk to
the phone from me.
Yeah, I said, let me talk to somebody else. So that person gets on the phone and I say, hi, this is me, blah, blah, blah. And they begin to answer a question I hadn't even asked.
No.
And so while I'm talking, they went, I said, what? What? You're not listening.
No.
Please listen. But they were still programmed to answer something that I hadn't, or come with a response that I didn't even ask. And sometimes people do that without even thinking.
Yeah.
Listen.
Don't do that.
Listen, Linda. Listen. Listen. And then respond. Listen, comprehend.
Yes.
And ask no more questions. So, like, if she says, I'm just really stressed out and I don't know how to handle, is there anything I can do to help you on that stressing out? Like, how can I help distress you? Something like that. Or you're just not good in bed. So, is there a way we can that you can help me be
what
better
part am I not good at?
Then I want to satisfy you.
Yeah.
But make sure you have those type of conversations. Don't just sit there like this.
Yeah,
and then don't do just what Lauren was just saying, because those are two things that will make a woman scream. Yeah. And I know it's the hardest thing for somebody to tell you something negative about yourself. I know that.
It does.
But I'm just saying, just don't do it.
And I doubt that's the reason.
And then, no, it might not be the reason. I'm just giving examples of, please respond accordingly to the conversation.
Yeah,
don't blank out because you don't want to hear the negative, and don't jump in on stuff that you ain't paid attention because you're thinking about sports or something. Yeah, to be able to handle any rejection or anything like that. So I just want to make sure that's clear, because that can blow up into a bigger argument. We are sensitive in that area, and we don't realize just because we're human beings, we feel like we're on the same page. Yeah. And men and women are not on the same page.
No.
At all.
And I notice, like, for me, the thing that drives me crazy is, like, you could be in a conversation and having a conversation, and this happens to me all the time, and it drives me crazy because the person's talking, and then you're going, you know what, you are right. You are correct. But I guess in their mind, they thought that you were going to come against what they said, so then they still yelling at you like you said opposite. Like you didn't... Because they didn't hear it. And you're like, but I just said you were right. No, because and I was like, so did you just want to yell? Like you just want to yell at this particular point. You're not listening. They're not saying.
And let her yell.
And
That's
I'm agreeing with you. You know what I mean?
Let her yell.
Yeah,
because it'll click in later when we back home thinking about what the conversation was and argument. Right. Just let her yell, because sometimes that's what it is, because you're already prepared to yell. But if you catch her off guard, she won't know to yell. But just in case that's the conversation and she's not listening, but just understand. Please acknowledge during the conversation. Because sometimes, and where I was going off with Joanne, because sometimes they'll ask you to do something, and when you do it, they get mad when you do it.
Yeah.
Because, they don't, like, she told me, I just want to be able to talk to you without you giving me any advice or opinion. I said, okay. And then, you see, you're not even paying me no attention because you ain't giving me no advice. Nothing. You just act like I didn't say nothing.
Who did that? That is so rude.
Yeah, Joanne.
That is just... What? That is just so...
Joanne. That's who did it. Lauren. Joanne did it.
Oh,
just in case nobody knows. Joanne, you did it. Yeah. So I'm just going to say... Yeah, so I'm saying, please... be aware of those.
Don't do what I did.
And you'll find out a lot more.
About
my mother said something that had always stayed with me, and sometimes I don't do it, but now I try to do it. I'm just getting a little bit more in tune. That's a God thing. If you want somebody to come on strong, you be soft. Mm-hmm. If you want somebody to come on soft, you be strong. Mm-hmm. You have to be the opposite. And if you ever notice that, that's the God's way. Mm-hmm. If you want money, then you have to let it go. Mm-hmm. If you don't want money, squeeze the little money that you have, and you won't have nothing when you open your hands. It's the same thing. If you want a lot of friends, then you first be friendly. That whether they are friends back to you or not, you first be friendly. If you don't want a lot of friends, then you just sit up there tell everybody you ain't got no friends, then you won't have none.
That's right.
And so it's the opposite. So that's the same thing.
So after the show, I need you to let go of a whole bunch of money. All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll be here next time on the Talking Out Show. Oh, I tapped myself. You guys are laughing.